If you joining on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, good morning. Welcome to our Wednesday morning session. We're going to do a little bit of work on hips, and we are going to do, as a special request, people have been asking for getting up and down off the floor. So yeah, it's good. My hips tend to get a little bit tight, and as we get older you can get a little bit tighter in the lower back and in the spine. So that's the idea today, is we'll be doing some mobilization and then just a simple step up from the floor. As always, if anything hurts, if anything feels uncomfortable, don't force it, don't push it, don't strain. Just take it easier, miss out any bits that you are not comfortable doing. You can just watch if you prefer just to watch. So let's start off with just getting the spine mobile as we always do. Let's get that camera in the right position. That's better, you can see. Taking your feet shoulder width apart. Let's do a bit of knocking. So rotating through the spine, keeping the spine long. So just a reminder, if you're new to watching on Instagram or Facebook, is Monday mornings we tend to focus a little bit more on breath and flow movements. And then Wednesdays, a little bit more on strength, maybe a little bit more on stretching as well, but it varies. And if you've got anything in particular that you want to focus on or want to work on, just drop me a message, because we're very flexible in terms of the content of these sessions. But we always start with just getting the spine mobilized. Spine is often neglected, I think, in terms of health, fitness, breath. And of course the spine is, well, carries your nerve, carries the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system. You've got your hips and your shoulders all attached to the spine. So we want to keep the spine strong but flexible. And then just slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, moving it into water waves. Water waves, we just add that little bit of resistance. It's like moving in slow motion. Just keep doing that. I've just got to pop another light on because one of the lights I didn't put on, so just so you can see me a little bit clearer. And take a rest. Stand tall. And then we're going to go a little bit wider on the feet now. So a little bit wider and slightly turned out. So you get like a feeling of a slight lengthening or elongating here in what we call the adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles. And we've done spinal cord breathing before, so we just bring the elbows back, lift the chest up towards the sky. But as we come forwards, we're going to hinge forwards. We're not going to bend the legs, so we're just going to hinge forwards. Now you don't have to reach too far forwards, just hinge forwards so you get a nice stretch or lengthening through the thighs, the hamstrings, and then come back up, open up the chest. Hinge at the hips forwards. Again, not forcing anything, take it nice and slow. Breathing in. And breathing out. So the knees stay soft, so you're not locking the knees out, but we're not bending the knees. We're not going down into a bend. So I want to get that stretch through the hamstrings, or that encouraging of lengthening through the hamstrings, through the fascia, through the back. I'm just going to whiz round and show you from the side, but obviously you can keep facing the camera. So I'm keeping the legs pretty straight, not bending the knees, and I'm hinging at the hips. And we just go where we are comfortable. So we want to keep the spine fairly neutral. I'm not forcing anything there. And then I'm coming up, opening everything up, reaching out. The other little trick as well, just to make it a little bit more challenging, is it's quite easy to glide the hips back. So you're taking your center of gravity back. A nice one to play around with is not moving the hips back too far. So that's even more challenging because you've got a big lead of a length that you're reaching forwards with. So just play around with it, and remember, the key to all of this is keep breathing through it, do it nice and steady, nice and slow, and not overreaching or forcing anything. Good. Take a little rest there. Have a little shake out. Let's go again. A little bit wider on the feet. A little bit of a turn out there. Just resting on the thighs. So here I am bending my knees. I'm resting on my thighs, but I'm not putting loads of weight there. I could literally just let my arms go, but I'm just gently resting on the thighs. Shifting side to side, shifting the weight side to side. Watch that we don't drop the head down so that spine stays long. Shifting the weight side to side. So you straighten that knee, not locking it out. Straighten that knee, not locking it out. And then we're just going to let that upper body flow like a river. So we get that nice fluidity, that nice flow through the spine. The trick is to look at the opposite foot. So as if I'm mirroring you, my right hip is going out, I'm looking at the left foot. So we just get that wave ripple through the upper body, through the spine. Move the body like a river. So we're doing a little bit of stretching, a little bit of strengthening, and a little bit of flow, just combining these simple movements. Freeing up the shoulders, the upper back. Slowing it down. And then slowly come up to standing. Take your time again. No rush to come up to standing, otherwise you might start to feel a little bit dizzy. Come up to standing, and then just walk your feet in. Have a little bit of a shake. Again, shake out a little bit. Stand tall. Let the breath settle. Next one we're going to do is a little bit of a split squat. So I'm going to show you from the side. You can keep watching the camera. So I'm going to, if I got my feet together here, I'm going to take a step back. We're not quite going into a big lunge. I'm just taking a step back, and then I'm going to bend that back knee and lower that back knee towards the ground. So I'm about 90 degrees there. So I'm not taking that hip back or forward. So I'm just going to lower down, and I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to straighten that leg as I stand up, and I'm going to lower down, and I'm going to stand up. And what I want you to do is keep this upper body upright rather than just rolling over like this. And what you can do, just put your palms together. That's quite a nice one. So you can just put a little bit of pressure there. Lower down, stand up. Breathing through it, doing it nice and slowly. Stay balanced, go as low as you can or wherever. It's not about forcing it. If you have any knee issues, anything like that hurts, obviously you don't force it. You just don't just do something a little bit easier. Just, you can go there and you can just literally go down an inch or two. You can just do a small depth. You don't have to do a big one. So staying on that side, just repeat the movement. Keep that upper back tall. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Done quite a few on this side now. Take a rest, you step forwards. So just shift your weight forwards, have a little rest. I think we did about 8 to 12 on that side. So let's do the same on the opposite side. So step back first, get balanced, don't rush into it. Your feet are underneath the hips, so you're almost like on train tracks. Once you feel stable there, you can bring your hands together, keeps that spine long, and then you just lower that back knee. Obviously the front knee bends as well. Keep breathing. Now this is setting us up for our getting up off the floor. And again, we're doing quite a few here. You don't have to do as many. The key is stay breathing. So if you stop breathing, if you lose control of the breath, if you wobble, just stop. It's not about how many reps can I do. It's not about forcing the movement. I'm going to do a couple more. And then when you stop, shift your weight forwards, come up to standing. Have a little shake out. And that's got me really warm. I'm just going to open the, can you believe I'm opening the door a little bit? Get some fresh air in. Have a little shake out. Good. We are now going to come down onto the floor. So just find a space on the floor, find a mat. If you've got a yoga mat, that's great. If you've got a carpet, that's absolutely fine. Make sure you've got a little bit of space around you. Just take your time just to come down onto the floor. We're going to do a little bit of work on the hips. And again, if you have any pain or any problem in the hips, then just make this a little bit smaller. Make this movement a little bit smaller. It's not about forcing anything. So we're going to take one knee out to 90 degrees that way, and then you're going to bring the other knee to there. So you've got your legs almost like at 90 degrees there. And we're just going to roll over to one side and look behind you. And then you're going to come back to the center, and then you're just going to swap sides. So take it easy, drop that knee down, roll over, look to the other side. So this is one I've noticed I need to do a lot more than I have been doing, because again, I can be a little bit tight in the hips, but I think we can all be a little bit tight in the hips. Just gently do it. Gently roll, roll, look behind. Keep the spine as long as possible. I'm rolling forwards a little bit here as well. Look behind. Roll, roll, look behind. Should feel quite nice. If you're getting any pain, you stop. Again, breathing with the movement. And when you're ready, just take a rest. So that's quite nice, because it should feel as if you're lengthening out all of the fascia, not just in the hips, but all the way through the back into the shoulders. And now we're going to do our little getting up from the floor. And what I'll show you first. So we'll start off, I'll start off side on. So you've got long legs, you've got tall spine. Now I find this again I'm quite tight in the lower back there. So what we don't want to be doing is laying in this position here. But again, we don't want to force sort of like that length of the spine, because again, if we tighten this back line, so lengthen up through the spine there. What we're going to do is we're going to roll onto one side. So when I roll onto that side, and then the side I've rolled onto, so I've got that weight through my hands there, I'm going to bend that knee. So that backside knee there, or the outer side knee there is bent. And then I'm going to push through that knee. So I'm going to push into the ground to swing the opposite leg behind. So I'm on the knee on the opposite leg there. I'm then going to come up into a kneeling position there. Bring that leg forwards. And then now you know why we've just done that split squat, because you're going to shift your center of gravity forwards and come up to standing. From what I can see, everybody's standing on Zoom, which is useful. I know it's difficult to describe it and you watching me show it as well at the same time when it's all online, but hopefully you're following along. We'll then go back down. So we take a step back. So you're going into that split squat position. You lower that knee to the ground, keep tall through the spine. Once you've lowered your knee to the ground, we can drop forwards onto the hands, swing this leg back out to that position. So you're using this leg now to support, push through that leg so you can swing that leg through, and with any luck, we're facing in the right direction. We're sitting in the position where we were when we started. And then let's swap that round. So we go to the other side. Now it's amazing sometimes how different it can feel. So again, get yourself nice and tall. Hopefully you can see there. Yeah, you should be able to see. Tall there. Rotate. So you've got both hands on the ground there. Now already I can feel a difference when I rotate to this side. Bring that back leg up. So you've got nice and supported with this back leg, because you're going to use this back leg to push down, to swing that leg through. So you're on your knee there. Then you can bring this leg to the front here. Bring it through. Come up to come up tall here. Make sure you're on the ball of the foot there. And then you can shift your weight forwards onto this front leg, come up to standing. It's good. Can't believe how warm it is. It's spring. And then we'll go back. So once you're standing here, step back, balance. Lower that knee to the ground. Keep tall through the spine. Lower the knee to the ground. Once you're on the ground, you can reach forwards. Bring that leg out to the side so you can swing this leg through and then sit back down. Did you follow that? Everybody follow that, hopefully. Let's repeat it. So we'll go back to the other side, swing around, nice and tall. Tall there, rotate, so roll over a little bit. So you rolled over, you're using the hands, you're planting your hands onto the ground. You're planting that back foot on the ground. So you're using this leg as a lever to lift the hips and swing that opposite leg through there. And then you can bring this leg forwards between the arms. Lift the upper body, so get nice and tall. We shift the weight forwards onto this front leg and then step up. And then we'll go back down, so step back. Take your time. If you wobble a little bit, find space to balance. Step back, bend that back knee, so you're going into that split squat. Keep tall with the upper body. Lower down, and then you can pop the hands onto the ground. Bring this leg through. So you're back into that open hip position there. Lift, swing that leg through. Lower yourself to the ground. Sit tall. Swing yourself round. Sit tall. I think everybody's following. As far as I can see, everybody on Zoom is following, which is good news. We're sitting tall. We're rolling to the side. Bringing that back leg up. Use this back leg to lift the hips. Swing that leg through, so you're on your knee there. Bring that knee through there. And then lift up tall here. If you need to reposition anything, don't feel that you're stuck in one position and you have to stay there. So if you need to reposition, to shift your weight forwards, and I've taken the cupboard out there, come up to standing, that's absolutely fine. So adjust yourself as you're working through it if you need to. Let's go back down. We'll do a little bit of nice easy flow after this. So step back, lower, take your time on the knee there. Shift the weight forwards, which means you can swing this leg through back. That means you can take that hand off the ground, shift that leg through, sit, and sit tall there. Good. And then when you're ready, let's go back. We'll get up the same way as we came. We'll stay on this side. We'll have done one more on this side, but we may as well get up rather than just stand straight up. So let's go on this side again. Roll, bend the knee, lift the hips, swing that leg through, bring that knee through the hands there, or through the arms. Lengthen up, lift the upper body, shift the weight forwards, stand up. Have a little shake. Quite a lot of work going on there. I do feel really warm, so you should feel quite warm when you've done that little bit of a practice. Good, good, good. I'm just going to show you this very quickly before we do some flow to finish off. If that's a real struggle, you can literally play around with just getting it up off a chair, because quite often when we're getting off a chair, we'll use our hands, or if you've got a chair with a side, or if you're on a sofa, you'll push yourself up with your hands. What you can do is, if you're on a chair, is come to the front of a chair and then shift one foot forwards and think about shifting your center of gravity again, so you can come up and stand up from that chair. And then you can lower. So if I'm looking side on, I've got one foot slightly behind, and you can do the same. You're almost like, obviously make sure the chair is behind you, and then you can just lower yourself down. Use your arms to counterbalance, lower yourself down onto the chair. And then same thing the other side. So I've got my left foot forwards here. If I'm mirroring you, it's most probably the right foot. Shift your weight forwards. Think about bringing that upper body forward, putting the weight on that support leg, come up to standing. So you're not using your arms. So if you're on a sofa or anything like that, it's very easy just to get up and use your arms and stuff like that. It's something you can do. You can think, right, I'm not going to use my arms. Can I keep my body tall? I'm going to shift and stand up. I'm going to lower back down. And you can do it slowly. So you can go, I'm going to slowly stand up. I'm going to slowly, 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 slowly. And that really, you're getting that squat, you're getting that strength in the legs as you slowly sit down. Obviously make sure the chair is behind you. It's very easy just to go, oh, just going to sit down and fall into the chair. It's much more challenging to slow, as with the Qigong, to slow those movements down to sit. Swap side, slowly come forwards and stand up. The other thing to avoid, if you like, when you're doing something like that, is it's easy to use momentum. So you can go, right, I'm just going to swing myself out of that chair. That's fine, but if you can, shift and then use the strength to come out of the chair as well. So that's a really good starting point if you want to just get that idea of getting up and down chair. You can have a higher chair, you can go onto a lower chair and just play around with that as well. Good, a few different things there to play with. Let's finish off just by taking a moment just to let the breath settle. Because we've done some stuff which sort of like stretching out, lengthening out the back, lower back muscles. Let's just do some Zen circles. I think we did this on Monday actually. Back of the hand on the lower back. Palm to the back of the palm, or back of the hand to the forehead. A little bit of hinge in the hips. Scoop and get that nice flow moving from the hips and the waist. Gently breathing. So really differentiate the flow movement from some of the strength things that we've done. So this should just feel effortless. It's almost like the breath is just guiding the moment, guiding the movement. Doesn't have to be a big movement. When you're ready, just swap sides. Doesn't have to be a big movement. See if you can make the movement even smaller. So just make that movement smaller. Least amount of effort, least amount of energy. It's almost like the breath again is just guiding that movement. Take a rest when you get to the end, and then pulling down, breath in, slow breath out. See if you can really slow the breath here, breath in, breath out. Interlocking your thumbs and just resting on the lower belly, bringing the feet together and just closing your eyes. And you've done a lot of work today, so just let the body unwind, find its own balance. Have in mind that visualization of bamboo in the wind. And then taking a calm breath in through the nose, opening your eyes, stepping out, gentle brush down. Excellent, some new stuff there we played around with. Hopefully some things to take away and have a little think about. be aware as you're getting in up and down out of chairs and things, just to use the lower body. Take away the arms, don't use the arms, and it's a great exercise. Thanks for joining, appreciate that. We are back on Monday with more breath work or more focus on breath. If you're around this evening and you have any interest in Oxygen Advantage or the Oxygen Advantage instructor training, I've got a free webinar at 7:30 UK time this evening with myself, Andrew Ritchie, who's the coach that we work together on the Scotland retreat for the instructor training. There's no big sales pitch. It's not like you have to buy this retreat training. If you just want to ask me any questions about more breath work or about the Oxygen Advantage, then please do feel free to jump in that webinar too. You can sign up. If you're watching on Instagram, it will be in the bio. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, I'll pop that in the link, or you can just go to adventuresinmovement.com/Scotland-webinar, and you can sign up for the webinar there. Brilliant. Thanks for your time. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see, if I don't see you this evening, I'll see you on Monday. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.